Coinbase reported their first quarter earnings after the bell yesterday, and we got a nice pop in price. Let's listen into this video brought to you by Yahoo Finance.
Let's talk about some movers as we head to the opening bell. We're watching shares of Coinbase jumping almost 10% this morning after the crypto trading platform reported a big beat on earnings. It attributed that in part to its cost-cutting implementation. Of course, it has cut jobs this year, has cut some other costs in what has been a challenged not just trading environment for crypto, but also, of course, regulatory environment. The company back in March receiving a letter from the SEC about, operations because the SEC has been scrutinizing crypto trading more broadly. So this was sort of welcome for investors in this company.
Yeah, supreme year of efficiency vibes that we've heard from Coinbase for an extended period of time here. But you think about what they also had to say on the earnings call about bank failures and kind of marrying the two together, or at least juxtaposing what's taken place within the crypto landscape when you saw mid-March crypto largely just spike after some of the bank failures started to come forward, SVP, Silvergate, and so forth. As you saw that take place, you also saw this movement within Bitcoin and a rise that really has kind of sustained itself, at least kept it about around this 27,000, 28,000 level, just shy of 29,000 as you're seeing there on the screen. And they touched on that in the call, touching briefly on bank failures in Q1. They maintained operational and risk excellence, they said, throughout the banking turbulence, saying that they also experienced no loss of corporate or customer funds and largely maintained business as usual operations, which was a gleeful way to say that, hey, the crypto landscape is an option for those of you that are not confident in banks. And so I looked at that as them kind of, being somewhat glib and trying to capture that opportunity.
Yeah, but I would argue that that's, yeah.
It's exactly what that was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
The other thing to keep in mind for Coinbase, and this happened yesterday morning, a U.S. court said that the Securities and Exchange Commission now has to respond within 10 days to Coinbase asking for more clarification on securities law and how it applies to the company. So that, I guess that clock started ticking yesterday. Okay. And then after that, Coinbase has something like 7 days to reply. So that's something that investors in the company and crypto investors more broadly are closely watching. There's a lot of chatter around that. The stock fell yesterday, though, I believe, before that, the increase that we're seeing today.
Well, I mean, it's been an industry that's been looking for any type of regulation it can get, especially in the face of some of its largest kind of band-aids that it's needed to put over sentiment. You think back to SBF and what took place with FTX, and then even further back, you can look back to some of the algorithmic stablecoins that collapsed last year. And so there's been a major hit to confidence in crypto as a whole. So now, as the industry is looking for the regulators to not just add more validity, but add more opportunity for utilization of these coins, that's really what the growth and adoption still is going to hinge largely on. Where can you spend a lot of the crypto that you're holding in your wallet?
Right.
Besides it just being...
Now, this article is coming from Crypto News, and Cathie has been going ham and buying Coinbase stock. So Cathie has remained bullish despite the potential pending lawsuits by the SEC. Besides sweeping millions of dollars worth of Coinbase shares in the previous month, ARK Invest bought an additional 8.5 million in Coinbase shares on May 1st. According to a report on May 2nd, the investment management firm purchased 129,000 shares. ARK didn't stop there. It brought an additional 23,000 shares for its ARK Next Generation Internet ETF. Now, Cathie has been buying Coinbase going back several months, right? In March, she bought 2.4 million. April, she bought 300,000. February, she brought roughly 150K. What is she seeing that we're not seeing? Now, I've been creating several posts on short format on Coinbase. I was talking how this level was a beautiful level to get long for multiple reasons. Not only was it a daily buyer's level, and I had talked about that because price penetrated the zone roughly 50% back in March, this dotted line signified that the remaining unfilled orders were below, and price did fall below the $50.78 level, and we had a nice pop-up in price. Now, how far can price go? Well, this white box signifies equilibrium between the buyers and sellers. There's no reason why price can't fill this gap at 67 and change. Let's make that green. And even if we didn't have the gap there, that was going to be my short-term target, as it's just the midpoint of this range here. Now, since Cathie was been buying Coinbase since February, I would say she's probably break even maybe, or a little underwater, since she's been going ham down at these levels here. But now, in other news, Coinbase did announce that they're launching their international exchange catered to institutions. That should also bring more revenue. So we see the banking crisis continue, and institutions and retail investors moving assets out of the traditional banking system and into cryptos such as Bitcoin. That's only going to benefit Coinbase. So Coinbase right now is at $57.65. There's no reason why it can't rise another $10. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.